there are a ton of villains, and some can be awesome. Now, here are the rules. Rule number 1, only one villain per movie or animated series. For rule number 2 is, if there's a villain you like but isn't on here, this is just my opinion, okay? So with that said, here is the top 10 best villains. For number 10 is Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. Okay, Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz is an entertaining villain. I mean, really, his voice is funny, and I have to say, he kind of looks like Waluigi. And also, he's a good father. And other is that sometimes his plans can be very weird, but by the way, his plans can be very weird. And sometimes he gets defeated by, get this, a platypus. A freaking platypus! I mean, really, a platypus? That's just weird. But I can still say that Doof is a good doofus for a villain. For number 9 is okay. I didn't get any footage, but this is what I can find. Nurgle from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Now, this show is one of my favorite TV shows on Cartoon Network, and it had some good villains. My favorite of the bunch was Nurgle. Nurgle is a lonely demon who wants nothing but friends. But here's something. He torments Billy and Mandy. And by the way, he married Billy's aunt. Also, another reason how Nurgle is a good villain, because he's a good father towards his son. Yeah, sometimes he can torment him, but sometimes he can show he's a good father. Also, his design kind of reminds me of the Slender Man. I mean, really. You see those tentacles on his back? That resembles the Slender Man, alright? Right. So, yeah. Nurgle is indeed the Billy and Mandy Slender Man. Also, he has a fancy suit that makes him much more equal to Slender Man. For number 8 is Plankton from SpongeBob. Now, sometimes he can be a victim, but sometimes he can be very funny. Also, he's voiced by Doug Lawrence. Who else hates that guy? Also, his plans are to take over the Krabby Patty formula and take over the world. Now, sometimes he doesn't win, but there was a time where Plankton was threatening, and that was Plan Z. Okay, I didn't find any footage, but I know how threatening Plan Z is. Now, how is Plan Z? Well, it's about stealing King Neptune's crown, selling it to a guy, and giving it to a guy from Shell City, and then, guess what? Taking over the world with mind-controlled civilians with bucket heads. Isn't that evil? Sometimes he has funny moments, and that is what I can consider Plankton one of my favorite SpongeBob villains. Also, he has a lot of evil laughs. For number 7 is Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. Okay, now how does this guy work? Well, he's voiced by Keith freaking David. I mean, really, who cannot like Keith David? Which makes the villain entertaining and sometimes scary. And also, his villain song, Friends on the Other Side, just listen. Also, this song was written by Randy Newman. Wow, can't believe Randy Newman written this. Also, he has voodoo powers, and also, let's not forget the conclusion to Friends of the Other Side. Just watch. Just watch at the very end of Friends and the Other Side. What's going on? Oh my god, okay. Okay. Oh my god, I saw a cut! Oh my god. Oh my god. Dr. Facilier, the best example for a Disney villain. For number 6 is Gideon. Again, didn't find any footage, but this guy is the creepiest villain ever. It's like he has the whole town in his pocket, and he's like the man who is in charge. Also, he's voiced by Flapjack. I mean, the creepiest villain is voiced by the most annoying character ever. I mean, yeah, Gideon's voice can be annoying, but still, he has a crush on Mabel, and it's like I mentioned, he has the whole town in his pocket. And also, let's not forget, he is one sadistic monster. I mean, really, he has the 3rd book that Dipper had. Also, he tried to snip Dipper's tongue out with scissors, with his psychic powers. Really? This is a Disney show. How can this character can do powers that is so deadly? Seriously. Gideon scares me for every reason. He is like the Disney XD version of Dr. Facilier. I'm the Comic D, and be continued.